Previously on Follow the Leader.
I have put down 2 mysteries now. My first one, which is the obvious one, is what happened to Afiel?
I put down for a mystery that, I'm interested in exploring. Who built the temple you can't see except in the dark?
And I think they're watching one of the young students trying to do this, and they sort of flex their own hand a couple of times, idly. They don't approach Marius right away. They're sort of half more watching. I had hoped to seek your counsel, your opinion.
Of course.
I have found myself recently a new kind of dream. Hearing voices, but it is when I'm sleeping. It's not like I'm overhearing thoughts, or it's strange. I've not experienced anything quite like it. Not that I remember, but at the same time, it doesn't feel dissimilar. It's strange to have something both new and yet not new happen. I don't know what to make of it.
We now return to your game already in progress.
I think, I really want Marius and the peony to interact, but I don't know a good way to get that to happen unless, Sable or Every is there, since they don't have a relationship as of yet.
Well, I can make an excuse for you.
Yeah, please do.
Because I know what I want my scene to be, because I'm fully on my bullshit and I want this to happen. Before we all get tired and have to stop recording. I think there's a party.
A party.
And I think there's gonna be drinks and dancing. So, if... Why just imagine Sable dragging Marius to this party? God.
Maybe it's the anniversary of something.
Yeah.
And so it's a celebration.
Oh, you know what it is?
Oh.
It's the anniversary of the tall boy.
Yeah, tall boy's victory. Yeah.
It's the anniversary of the fight between the tall boy and the gull.
Yeah. Can I steal your scene idea for my scene?
Oh, go ahead. I'm just saying, because that's what I already know what I'm doing for my next scene, and it's going to take place at the same time, so...
The more party, the merrier.
Nice. Oh, if we... Oh, sorry, Dora, you set the scene, and then I have a possible detail.
Alright, so yeah, I think Sable's dragged Marius to this party, and Marius went out of a sense of obligation, but at some point they got...
Why did Sable drag Marius to this party?
We already established that Sable doesn't like parties.
If I have to go, you have to go. I feel like that's
literally.
Yeah. Mutually assured destruction.
Yep.
No, you're my excuse to leave, and and I'm your excuse to leave.
Yeah, if you're my excuse to leave, and I'm your excuse to leave, then who's flying the plane?
Then who's really leaving here?
Yep.
The detail I want to establish, and if you guys think it's overly morbid, I'm coming at it from a very positive place, but I get it, is that, literally hold the party within, the ribcage of the tall boy. It's been long enough, and it's just, it's like a reverence for the dead thing.
Fucking yes.
It's washed clean by the ocean wind, anyway.
Yeah, and it's, hanging, paper lanterns are decked around it, and it's, this pool of light on the shore. like spreading
Yes.
out across the black sand and this like bleached white rib cage that's like a fucking gazebo.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Thank you for suggesting that.
Thank fucking God.
Yeah, and I think maybe Sable and Marius got separated, and that's
Yeah.
how
Good.
Marius ends up bumping into the peony. Possibly literally. I think
I was gonna suggest, like, if you ever need an excuse for characters to meet each other, you literally have them run into each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I think possibly literally. I think this is probably like the first time that Marius has had any sort of alcoholic beverage since before the Anukar fell. And so they're quite tipsy.
Sorry. I just love that.
And so they bump into the peony, but it's not, they don't spill their drink on the peony because I think their drink's probably empty at this point, but they bump into the peony. And I'm trying to decide if they apologize, and if so, how.
I was going to say she would be the one, she would reach out and steady you, and she would actually be the one to apologize, because that's who she is as a person. And so yeah, Marius bumps into her, and she'll catch you just on the elbow very gracefully, and she says, "Oh, my apologies. I was in your way."
Oh, I wasn't going anywhere in particular. It's of no matter. I don't believe we've met.
Not officially, no. You're Marius, though, aren't you?
Yes, though I don't know your name.
She puts a hand up to her chest and does a tiny little bow, and she says, "You may call me the Peony."
A pleasure to meet your acquaintance. Mistress Peony?
Just the Peony is fine.
A pleasure to meet your acquaintance, officially. I'm glad to know that my reputation has preceded me.
Of course. You're the one who's coming in to teach everyone magic. I find that very fascinating.
Well, teach those with the aptitude. It's, not something just anyone can learn.
Is it slow going, or have you found worthy students among our crowd?
I've certainly found students. I have a small tutelage. Is that perhaps the appropriate word?
I think so in this case.
I have students.
It's good. I hope that they prove worthy. Eventually. Since it sounds like right now they're still learning.
They're still moist clay, but I'm sure they can be shaped.
Someone else sort of jostles into the peony from behind, because they're in the middle of, like, a crowded space at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all aren't on the edge of a crowd. Y'all are in the middle of it. There's still things happening all around you.
Marius, perhaps would you like a dance?
Oh man, they look... That's like complete fish out of water gawping at the peony. But they didn't say no, so if the peony wants to drag them into dancing, they're not gonna resist.
She'll offer them a hand.
They'll look at it for a moment, and then in a fit of politeness and in the spirit of not being rude, they take it.
She'll guide them onto the dance floor. Or further onto the dance floor. They were kind of on the edge of it. And she'll lead, since it sounds like they don't know how. And it's a very polite little dance. And she says, "I have asked your companion Sable how they feel, but how are you getting along in this town, aside from the students who are still a little wet behind the ears?"
And, I'm trying to think how they would answer this, because they have a very specific worldview, but they're also, like, tipsy, so...
You know that feel when you have an existential crisis, but you're, like, drunk?
Yeah. I came here to teach. The students are what I came for, and I like them well enough. AKA, they're married to their job.
Yeah.
And I suppose you aren't new here, but how do you find it?
I find it ever-changing and comforting at the same time. We can both give non-answers, Marius.
My answer was an answer. It was perfectly serviceable. I'm in the business of giving answers.
But I asked how you felt about it. Not about your teaching. I said, aside from the teaching, how do you feel about it?
Teaching is what I have.
And is there any way to find something else for you? Or is that your be-all, end-all?
Knowledge is the highest pursuit anyone can know. And they kind of, like, square their shoulders and, like, they look really haughty about it.
Knowledge or truth? If you stay here long enough and you learn everything that is within your own purview to know, do you move on? Do you move on until there is the next city that needs to be taught, that needs to be educated? Or do you stop and do you wait to see if the answers you are giving are the correct ones?
Can I add a detail?
Yes.
There's a flash of lightning out at sea. Just a single one.
Marius, I have a question I want you to consider.
Yes?
Are there truths higher than your own that you'd be willing to seek?
Marius looks very serious, and there's nothing higher than learning the workings of the universe and how to bend them to your will.
One day we might have a temple to you, perhaps.
Hang on, I need to think of exactly how they would say this, because they have a comeback to this. If only we were so lucky for people to have such good sense.
I love Marius so much.
I aspire to have this much self-confidence in anything I do.
With conviction like that, perhaps they might. And she'll stand back and give a little bow over your hand and say, "Thank you for the dance and for the conversation."
You're very welcome. You're welcome to it anytime.
I'll keep that in mind.
I think that's seen. And I think the peony definitely gets that marker.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting Marius be the worst at you.
She's utterly delighted by how bad you are. She's like, oh, they're so full of self-confidence, and it's adorable and precious.
Is it wrong of me, based on that, to want to change one of the peony's markers to Enabler-in-Chief?
That's so good.
I love it. You may.
Right.
I mean, I know what my scene is.
Do you? Wow, really?
Sorry. We're gonna have a dance, thanks. Hi, Lucy! Sorry. Mab just sent us a picture of her cat. Same party. Well, same party. Sable bumps into Every. Mm-hmm.
What a surprise. I did not see this coming.
Oh, shock, gasp, alarm. Ooh.
Interjection of your choice. I think Every, for their part, is sort of like swaying slightly from like foot to foot, like enjoying the music. Not really getting involved with the dancing, but looking like maybe they want to.
Yeah. I think it's like, Sable's like, oh, you know what? Sable got caught in a conversation with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And is escaping from that.
Mm-hmm.
And was backing up and just back right into every side.
They couldn't find Marius, and it's like, oh god, you were supposed to be my escape from everything here.
Yeah, and they're like, oh god, no. And then they bump into Every, and they're like, oh shit. And they're like, oh shit, I'm so... Oh. And I might do my own interjection here. Sorry. Very, very brief flashback to the last time they saw each other, which is also the first time they ever met.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Probably a very similar situation.
Yeah.
I want to say.
They could have had a party for all the new arrivals. More parties, more parties. They're a party town.
More parties, more parties. But...
Oh, I've got for where they met the first time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Sable was returning from the shore, from their morning prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And Every was heading down there, looking a little confused and not really paying attention to what they were doing, but that they were going to the shore for some reason.
And in the flashback, they run into each other, and Sable goes, sorry. Because they were also sort of lost in thought, so...
Mm-hmm.
Also, they just have a habit now of apologizing to people, since Marius never does.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I have friendships like that, actually.
So, yeah. So, they, bump into Every, and they go, oh, I'm sorry.
It's... Oh, wait, are we still in the flashback, or are we in the
This is
present?
a flashback still.
Just to clarify. Okay, cool. Just like, no, it... And they stop mid-sentence and look at you. It's just like a look of confusion. Just like, do I know you?
I don't...
Sorry, I was just going to the water.
No, that's... Yeah, no, I was just going... I don't even remember.
No. Yeah, I find myself feeling something similar. So, should I... No, I thought it... Are you new?
Yeah, not long. Been...
Right.
I don't know, a week?
Oh.
Hard to measure time when you're not traveling anymore.
I've been here a while, I couldn't say. I should let you go on your day. I'm Every. Well, they call me Every.
I'm Sable.
Sable. And they offer a hand to shake.
Yeah, and Sable takes it.
And when Sable takes their hand in the flashback, they can feel like calluses from work. And so they maybe feel a little bit like a burn scar. And they catch a flash of inked lines just like peeping out from the cuff of their coat.
And that's probably where the flashback ends, and we're back to the dance. Or the party, anyway.
Yeah.
And they haven't seen each other since, really. I mean, they've passed each other, but that was the last. That first meeting was that's the only conversation they've really had.
Sure.
Not for lack of trying, I don't think. Yeah. And Sable's like, oh, hello.
Hello. Again. And they're like looking up at Sable this time because they're on the same level, whereas before I'm imagining like one of those like rocky kind of naturally occurring sort of staircases things, and like Every was coming down, so they might have been on eye level, and now perhaps Sable is cottoning on to just how much shorter than them Every is, because Every is like 5 foot tall.
Yeah,
so small. A small bean.
Sable's Sable's
small.
not like 6 foot, but they're pretty tall. They're not a short person. Actually, I think I said how tall Sable was at one point, and I forget.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. Yeah, and Sable's not gonna say it, but they're thinking it. They're like, wow, alright, in their head. And they're very awkwardly like, I was just... And they, like, look behind them to see whoever it was they were talking to. I don't know if... Does someone else have an idea of who?
Is it a really enthusiastic member of the cult of the tall boy who's just like, you don't know about the tall boy?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Let
okay,
me
so
tell you.
they're tall, right? And they fought a seagull.
And they've got a friend in the background chiming in.
Every will glance around and be like, and offer their hands to say what it take, and we'll like lead them into the dance through.
Fuck the seagulls! Fuck the seagulls! Just kidding.
There's a chant going across the party of "Fuck the seagulls."
Someone else starts picking up the call. Meanwhile,
A sea of drunk toddlers.
Oh my god.
Peony's in a corner
And
going,
that's when the
they're all
seagulls
so
arrived."
endearing.
Jeez.
Oh, I have a terrible idea that...
The Dora O.
Don't ruin their dance with the seagull.
No, hold on. Dora, save it. Save it,
Yeah.
save it, save
I'm
it.
gonna save it.
Yeah, save that. And Sable's like, thank you, number one. Number two, can you lead? Because I can't.
I can lead. And they easily, like, take your hands and, like, start leading you through the movements. And, yeah.
Oh. that they say that. Just, oh.
That was so sad
Well-
and broken.
Okay. This is... Yeah. Yep. And they're surprised, a little surprised at how easy it is. They haven't done this in 2 centuries.
Are you okay, Sable? As they easily turn them about the floor. Or about the sand, I should say, as they're on the beach.
It's been a long time.
For me too. I used to like to dance. And I found it's good to be doing it again.
It's good to have a reason to.
Thank you for indulging me.
Of course. It's a party, we should be enjoying ourselves, I suppose.
That's what I've heard. Look, it's an attempt at levity, like trying to make Sable a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, they laugh a little bit and they're like, I've not had much luck with them.
I'm sorry to hear that. And they just like continue the dance in a comfortable question mark silence. There's obviously the background noise going on, but
Sable can't fucking hear it. Welp. Sable has no idea of what's happening around them.
Mm-hmm.
They're too focused on what's happening in their arms, basically.
Mm. Oh, and I think because of the position they're in, like the dance hold, every sleeves have sort of slipped down to their elbows, and Sable can see more of the text winding around them.
Oh, they're so curious, but they're not going to ask about it. Not right now. Maybe later.
Mm-hmm.
If they have the opportunity to later, they will, but...
Valid.
I feel they're like, no, this is the second time we've ever met. We're fucking at a party. We're not fucking at a party, but we're at a party.
They're fucking at a party.
I was gonna say, did I miss a step?
That escalated quickly.
Every and I are having our first dance ever. My first dance in 200 years. I'm not fucking ruining this. And then I guess I think I know what Dora was gonna say, but
Maybe.
I always love the way Dora says "oh" when they have a horrible, wonderful idea. It's the best thing.
It really is. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Always decide something interesting's about to happen that will probably hurt me.
Well, I was just thinking, this is a celebration of the Tall One.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't particularly care for the Tall One and would probably want to crash such a celebration.
Yep.
So I think it's one of those things where you finish the dance and maybe there's a lingering moment and then suddenly a shout goes up from the other side of the celebration area and it's not a friendly shout.
And Sable's just like, no luck with parties.
And as they've dropped out of the dance hall, every turns around to the side of it and literally just like flexes their hands and their hands burst into flame.
Sable opens their mouth, closes it, opens it again, closes it, goes, later? Later, and like goes to grab their staff. What the fuck just happened? Fucking...
I mean, that could be a really nice button on the scene. Just like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, no, that's the end of the scene.
Now we gotta do something.
Mouth opens and closes like a fish.
Oh, buddy. Oh, Sable.
I love my poor child. They're trying so hard.
They're trying so hard.
They just can't win.
Nope.
Alright.
Okay.
Marker,
and then...
I think I want to give a marker to the flock.
Nice.
Actually, hold on a second.
Okay.
That's a motif. I think that's a motif related. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, I got a bunch of markers. Hold on a second. We got a bunch of shit.
We've got a bones motif.
We hit a bunch of motifs just there. So we hit the seagulls motif. We hit the bones motif. We hit the new beginnings motif.
Also, if we combine it with the last scene, because they were happening at the same time, we also got unexpected light in the darkness.
Yep.
Because of that lightning strike out of nowhere. Let's see.
Yeah. So, I think the flock gets a marker. The flock gets a marker. The cult of the tall boy gets a marker. I want every to get a marker.
Okay.
I think those are the ones that I'm really thinking. Because I don't think that I think that this is just a I'm not going to give like the connection between Sable and Every a marker. I'm just going to give Every a marker.
Sure.
But I think the new beginnings motif directly connects to the relationship or the connection between the two of them.
Cool.
And okay, so that was fun.
That was a scene.
Yeah, remember when I said this game takes a while? Yeah.
We still got like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I was going to say, did we want to just like do one more round of scenes and then like
see where we're at?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
This game is, and the reason why I want to play this for a Patreon campaign is because this game is really, really good for long form storytelling. And it's really easy to put it down and pick it back up again.
Yeah.
When we can. So the setup also just takes so long that you really have to.
Hold on. I'm like digging through.
That's a good thing. I love this game.
Where's this other piece of shit go? No.
You know, it's your turn to frame the scene, right, Matt?
Yes.
I hate to put that pressure.
I just wanted to like finish digging through this thing to look for something before I started
actually talking.
Yeah.
I also love how regal that picture of Lucy is, I have to say.
Her little chaise lounge.
She's giving me powerful hedonism bot vibes, and quite frankly, I am here for it.
She's a regal.
I apologize for nothing.
She's sitting in my doorway and staring at me, and so I'm staring back. Anyway. So we'll just say that everyone kind of left the party and let the Gulls and the Tall Boys faction duke it out, because they do that from time to time.
When you're a jet to the end.
Sable totally tried to break it up at first and then was like, oh no, I'm too fucking old for this, and then just left.
Like, I'm done.
Yeah, no, I think every, like, let it go on. I think, like, every being a fight is literally like the equivalent of going, oh, okay, this could get real at any second, so maybe nobody should pull a weapon. Like, a fist fight is okay, but the second somebody looked like they were going to do something different, it's just like the flames on their hands got bigger. It's just like, oh yeah, that person's here. Okay, fight done. Thank you.
Good.
All right. So, I would love to have a scene with Every. And I know we're falling back into the two people in a scene habit that we have.
It's like that sometimes.
And sometimes it's like that. Also, I don't want anyone else involved in this scene, because Mom wants to have a talk. No. But it's not exactly a confrontation, because there, because the confrontation says 2 or more characters are involved in an argument, altercation, reckoning, etc. They're not arguing. They're not having an altercation. She just kind of wants to check in on them. Because, she wants to make sure they're okay. So I think she might, I'm trying to think. I don't think she would send them a summons. I think she would go visit them at their hovel. And, so yeah, she'll go visit you. And, it might be like a day or two after the party had died down. The party was over, and then after the conflict between the two factions died down, 'cause she had to also play, like, mediary between them, and, one group was going to her going, oh my god, but does the tall boy say anything from his space in the beyond, or, whatever, and she's just like, no, it's fine, please stop fighting. And so, she'll go visit them. And she brings them, do they like tea or fruit or anything like that? She'll bring like a tiny, like, not picnic, but like a little snack that they can have while they're chatting.
Yeah, they're down for snacks.
All right. So she'll bring a little light snack and a tea, and come and have a little chat with them. And so, like, they're talking for a little bit by this point, and she stops and kind of goes silent, and she says, I saw you dancing with Sable at the party the other night.
They needed an escape from one of the more impassioned members of the Tall Boys followers.
Yes, I remember the shouting that went up shortly before that happened. I haven't seen you move so lightly on your feet in a while.
That's probably true. It felt good to dance. And they sort of smile to themselves. And all around, like, this part of the building, and it's not entirely clear whether the structure was built like this or whether this is part of where it's collapsed, but there's like a lot of openness to this sort of area, and every's hung like wind chimes, and one of those ones that's like a light catcher, like bits of reflective material, so it just like throws like scattered like sunlight across like the floor, and they just like the wind chime jangles and like little bits of light move where they're being reflected off the sun catcher, and yeah.
Was there anything familiar about them to you?
You know, when I first met them, I wondered if I knew them from somewhere. but they didn't know me, and I didn't, after talking to them, I dismissed it. There's so much I don't know, but they didn't know me, so I assumed I was mistaken. Their voice... Something about their voice.
They have a voice that echoes.
They talked so little when we danced, but I just couldn't help but listen with all of myself. I wanted to hear it.
They have a voice that echoes, and you have a soul that resonates, Every.
Maybe that's because there's so much. I don't know.
No. It's not that it resonates within you, because I know that sometimes you feel empty. And it's not like that. There are things that might be locked away. But there
are gaps inside me.
They're still inside you. It's not that someone reached in and took it out. Someone reached in and closed it behind a door.
I think, completely unconsciously, Every's hand goes to their temple where that streak of black is. It's caught within the braid. It's not like loose. And then they realize they're doing something and like put their hand back in their lap.
She reaches out and takes that hand and holds it between both of hers.
Every doesn't resist. He's quite happy to have the hand taken.
Do you want to try and fill those spaces? Or would you rather that they remain behind lock and key?
If the lock and key were of my making, perhaps. But I don't think they were. I don't think I would feel the absence so acutely if it were my choice.
And going forward, what is your choice?
I think I would like to keep feeling light.
And she, lifts her head a little bit. Her face is covered, so you can't, see what kind of expression her eyes are making. But there is, a sort of a brief little purse to her lips, but then she nods. And she says, then I suggest that you chase that.
You think so?
I think if it is what will make you happy. Existing with gaps, self-imposed or otherwise, there is a sense of lightness to that, but they are bound by heavy chains to keep them closed.
When I said light, I don't think... I agree. I don't think these gaps are what do that. A wooden crate full of holes will fill with water and sink. When it's whole, it can float. Perhaps that's the lightness I mean.
And that is the lightness that you should chase. Look after it and find it. You know that I only want the best for you.
You want the best for everyone.
That makes you no different.
Don't think I don't see.
I want everyone to be happy.
So do I. I would not see people burdened by the chains of unhappiness.
Then make sure that you aren't as well. Don't put the others so before you that you ignore your own.
I will try.
That's the most that anyone can do.
I like that as scene.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
They're both such quiet little people.
That's good. Oh god, I've got to do the next thing. Fuck.
It's okay, hold on. I was too quiet for too long. I'd like to give Every's little hovel ruins a little marker.
Okay.
Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn.
Mm-hmm. Now it's my turn. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. I can't just immediately go run off and have a sing with Sable. I can't.
You can, is the thing.
We live our best lives here.
At FTF.
That's true, we do this. We do this.
This is the whole point. The doo-doo. Jade, this is the whole point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go find Sable.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. I just yanked my headphone out of my ear.
Oh no.
We're good. Did you ask me a question?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I'm still trying to suss out where this scene should be. Because, Every's not, unlike Jade, is not able to just go up to someone and go, "You making me feel things that I haven't felt in maybe ever. What's up with that?" So, what am I saying? Jade can't be that emotionally articulate either. What are feelings? How do?
How do?
I kind of want to tap into a locale we haven't used yet, but I don't know why Sable would be there either.
You can also make up a new one.
That's true. I want it to be... Oh!
Jade.
Yes,
Jade.
yes. Kales.
It's at one of the temples.
Yeah, no, I was just trying to think which one. I didn't know if I wanted to do, the underground one in the tunnels, or one of the other ones in the heart. Because the thing about Every, as I've stated, they're able to get into places they shouldn't be, and nobody's quite sure how they do it. So, it's entirely possible for Sable to be somewhere, and Every to find them.
Sable just ends up places.
Yeah.
They're not trying necessarily to get somewhere that, they shouldn't be able to, but they, end up there, and they're like, welp.
Mm-hmm. Who's it a temple to? An old god or a new god?
Old.
Okay.
I don't think they can tell necessarily, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think, people in the town might know, but Sable can't tell.
Yeah, okay. As a person that's been in the town a while and also is very knowledgeable about the old gods, I do need to suss out who this temple is for. What have we established about the old pantheon? Because Mulga's a newer god, right?
I don't think that's really a thing. No, I don't think that was ever established.
Okay. The only other option is that we both happen to find a cult of she who shouldn't be named.
Oh, no, we can't. I mean, we can, but we can't.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we're going to, but we really shouldn't.
God, what does that temple even look like? Fuck. I mean, because it's gotta be. It's gotta be. Because it makes my heart hurt to think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Dora, any thoughts on what this temple should look like? Is it even really a temple?
I don't think it's even necessarily a temple. I think it's one of those things wherever you are, death walks with you. So it may just be a small... There may just be a small shrine that indicates that this is in fact a temple.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise it looks pretty ordinary, if that makes sense.
Sure. Is it one of those places where... Oh, this is gross, and I kind of love it. As Every enters this place, you know how sometimes, I know this might just be me, tactile person that I am, you'll brush your hand over the threshold of the door frame as you enter a place. I'm just always fucking touching things.
That's fair. I do that a fair amount.
I really like the idea of them doing that to come in through the door threshold and realizing, wait, that's not marble, that's porous. Oh, no, that's bone.
Yes.
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 It is. Ah!
I don't know if the whole place is like this or whether it's almost just like the doorway is, because it's like the threshold between life and death. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I
yeah.
love the threshold just being bone.
Okay. And is Sable already there? Has Sable already found this place, or do they find every there?
Sable's already found this place. Again, they don't know what this is. They're not a tactile person, so they haven't. They think it's marble still.
Well, if they're just like chilling in the temple, like looking around, maybe trying to suss out who it's a temple for, and they hear behind them like this sort of sharp intake of breath and like a slight like clicking sound as like a small like bit of gravel or pebble gets kicked up as Every takes a step backwards. Like, Every didn't come here expecting to find Sable. They're literally like, oh, I'm going to go in here today. Oh.
Yeah, and they turn around.
And they just see Every like looking at their hand, like brushing their hand off on the front of their clothes. Just looking a bit shaken by it. Because I think this is probably firing a connection in the back of Every's head. Hell, Every might even know what that means. And doesn't know why it upsets them so much.
Oh. Yeah, and...
Yeah, no, they know what that means. And what this is a place for.
And I think that if not for the fact that they look a little shaken, Sable would have let them be, but they can't help it. Fucking terrible good person.
Paladins,
man. And they're like, Every, are you okay?
You shouldn't be in here. Nobody should be in here. I didn't realise that people are always going to follow her. How can they not?
I don't understand what... I mean, I'll leave if you think I should, but...
No, you haven't done something wrong. How familiar are you with the old gods, Sable? And, like, beckons them backwards, like, out of the space.
Yeah, Sable's gonna go, and they're gonna hesitate a moment and be like, you could say very.
I just want to... I don't think either of them noticed this, but if this camera was on these two, like, on the outside of this temple, I think the shadows in that temple start extending. Like, these pools of darkness are, like, spreading out inside there. Like, the sunlight coming in through the door is not shining as far into the room as it was a moment before. I won't say her name, because you do not invite her. She will come as she wants anyway, whether it's her time to be there or not. But if you invite her, she will come.
Sable's eyebrows go, like, together.
In confusion or in an oh no face?
Like, they know, but they're not gonna say anything.
Okay, I think if they can suss out that, like, Sable's acknowledged, that's a, oh, okay, I think I know who you're talking about face. And just isn't happy about it. Which, you know, valid.
Yeah. And actually they might... No, they totally do, because I think they've heard that from people before. They won't speak her name. And I think that there's a part of Sable that wants to.
Oh, yeah. I shouldn't sound so excited about that. I'm very sorry. I'm just a fucking angst gremlin.
And it's partially in a, like... It's partially they want to invite her because Like, they've been alive for 200 years and they're done. And part of them just really fucking wants to fight her.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not a violent person. I don't think they say this. So I think actually their expression is one of recognition, but it's like very unhappy recognition.
May I add a detail?
Please.
Yeah.
There's just like this breeze that just kind of ruffles both of your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like fingers running through it.
Almost like a sigh.
Oh, we should get away from here.
Okay. Where?
Somewhere where there's air and light. And then I think if Sable doesn't stop them, they're gonna like take Sable by the hand and take them back to their place. I know my phrasing could be better, or also is perfectly accurate, but like to the place with the wind chimes and the sun catchers.
Yeah. Oh no! I mean, good, but Sable's not gonna enter.
I mean, I kind of want to end that scene, and the scene of just like every pulling Sable away with that intention, and then we can take that scene later if you want, or we can leave it and extrapolate, because that scene's been going on a little while now. So
Yep, yeah. We gotta keep going.
we gotta keep. Okay, marker 4. We've created a new locale. We definitely pinged bones. And on a darkness where there should be light. The marks we leave on others kind of got pinged in the peony and every scene.
Oh, yes. That's true, it did.
I'm gonna give the marker to a marker to Sable. So
Good. I have a bunch, and I need to figure out what I'm doing with them. I'll figure it out eventually.
but yeah, that scene.
I have an idea for a scene, but I don't know who would be there.
It doesn't have to be... It can be a solo scene.
We can make up other characters.
Yeah, we can be secondary characters.
Yeah, but I don't know who else, like, just in general, I don't know who else would be with Marius, because I think we've seen Marius conjure light.
Hey, don't say what I think you're going to say. Say it.
Marius can't resist, like, the mystery of the temple that you can't see unless it's pitch black. And so they've been working on a different spell. And it's a different sort of conjuration, because usually you're conjuring something instead of the lack of something. And so, you know, it takes a bit, and, like, the camera kind of focuses on their hands as they're, like... I just imagine them snapping their fingers and just sparks of blackness just spilling off of their fingers until
Sparks
finally...
of fucking void.
Yes. Until it catches and the room is just plummeted into a blackness so thick that it's more than just darkness, it's an entity all its own. And that's when Marius decides that they're ready to try to go study the temple.
Oh my fucking god.
Just take a wander. Don't just take a wander to the deep. Invite the deep just to chill out around your person. You know. It's good.
God, Marius.
They're the
Marius
worst.
so much. This is what happens when Kari and Tio aren't around. Marius just does even stupider shit than usual. It's good is the thing.
Kari and Tio are like 70% of their impulse control.
Yeah. Jesus.
Kari, where are you? Please stop Marius from doing these things.
Kari's here somewhere.
Inevitably.
Jade, isn't Kari here?
Kari is somewhere a version of Kari is in the City of Gulls.
So I kind of want that to be the scene. Is just it's it's an impending doom sort of scene, and it's not framed as a good thing that Marius is doing this.
My God.
Oh, good. So there'd be some ominous dramatic music, you're saying, in the movie/TV show of this moment.
Yes,
Would
absolutely.
definitely be some minor chords occurring right now.
So, trying to decide, I think the only thing I can really give the marker to is the reclaimed library, but I'm going to immediately transmute that into a tag, Forbidden Knowledge.
Ooh. Very good.
My reaction to that scene is the peony looking up and going, "My spidey senses are tingling."
You sure that's not my dumbass sense is tingling?
Yeah.
Somebody's doing something incredibly ill-advised.
She's just like, I'm gonna have to go give them a stern talking to. Mom mode activated.
Yeah, mom powers.
Yeah.
One of my children is doing something stupid.
One of my children are misbehaving.
I must go.
And Marius goes, "You're not my real mom." She goes, "Don't you take that tone of voice with me."
So we're gonna just, I don't even give a shit anymore.
That's not nice.
No. I'm just like I'm just fully like aware that like most of this town is full of monsters is going to be Sable following Every around and also looking for answers, but mostly following Every around. So yeah, we're gonna continue that scene.
Okay. So do we get to like the threshold of this hermitage?
Yeah. I think what it is it's like the scene with Marius, like in the movie version of whatever this is, that scene with Marius sort of bridges a gap. So you're not seeing the whole journey. But we get to the threshold and Sable hasn't let go of Every's hand, but they stop dead in the doorway, and that's when the connection breaks. Because Every keeps going and Sable does not.
Yeah. Oh no, I can't. No.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Let's go.
What if, and you can say no, what if the hand that Every had hold of was the hand with the ring on?
Yup.
And the ring comes off in Every's hand.
Oh my God.
Like, Sable stops and, like, Every's hand, like, comes off of theirs and takes the ring with it.
Fuck. Uh-huh.
And they're just like, what? I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Sable can't speak right now. Sorry. Try again later. They're just staring.
At Every or at the place?
At the place, at the wind chimes and the how it feels so open and light and...
Well, I am the worst person. I'm not sorry, though. Every comes back to them, realizing they've got this ring in their hand, and literally just slides it back onto Sable's hand for them.
Sable, like, startles and then looks at Every.
Are you okay?
Just a little deja vu, it's fine.
Have you been here before?
No.
You should sit. I'll make some tea. The peony brought me some. I'll make tea. And they start fussing.
Sable's just gonna go, like, just, like, touch one of the wind chimes.
Yeah, it's the same kind of note. Hell, it even probably plays the same note that they're used to, like, as the wind chime ripples, and it's one of the kind with metal.
Yeah.
As opposed to the wooden kind. It's just like this sort of like cascade of notes that just does not help the deja vu.
No.
Can I introduce a little detail?
Yeah.
Please.
So they have those wind chimes that are set to like the planetary harmonics. But I kind of also just like the wind chime being set to like a harmonic scale that would have been from maybe like a slightly adjacent plane, but like whatever plane the gods occupied. Mm-hmm. None of you would probably know that, but it like that helps like resonate within Every a little bit stronger.
Oh yeah. I think every stops what they're doing, because there's something about that wind chime being not strummed, I suppose, but also it being activated that way that, like you said, resonates with them, and they just stop what they're doing and their spine just goes rigid for a second. Huh. And they just turn around and look at Sable, just looking a little bit confused. Or a lot confused.
I think what happens is that Sable turns around and says, "Have we met before?"
I don't... Something... Sable, there's so much I don't know about myself. But I can't remember. I have gaps. I feel like more of me is missing than is there. Something about you, though. I feel like part of me knows who you are, even if I don't know what part of me does. Does that sound strange?
As long as I've been alive, nothing sounds strange anymore.
I've been having these dreams recently. I don't know. I hate not knowing. I should make this tea. And they're absolutely, like, deflecting. Like, trying to gather themselves.
Sable's going to let them, and then I think when they come back with the tea, not to drag this on any longer than it already has, but when they come back with the tea, Sable's going to extremely badly change the subject and say, I caught a glimpse of your tattoos during the party.
Oh. Yes. They go on a bit. I don't hide them, per se. I just don't make a show of them either. They're for me, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Forgive me. What? Just perhaps a summary of what they say if they go on for a bit. But if you don't mind.
And I think they're gonna recite it. If you would give me the liberty of reading this thing that you wrote, Kales, because it's lovely.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Stand tall on the plains of time. Let the breeze ruffle your hair. You may yet hear the way home in the howls of the wolves. But it may be that your path is more winding, more treacherous. The road home may be dark and silent, save the white's whispers. And in the flames you light to keep your hands warm, you may yet only see the smile of death, and feel her cold hair brush the back of your neck. But she is not your only release. There is still something in our heart that brings us from the shadows to the sea, from eternity to now. Every person knows not who they are, but who they might be should they make it to the shore. My torch, my beacon, my light. We hope you find the sand between your toes again, and the sea breeze on your face, and warm fingers between yours. We hope you remember what it means to be free. And they say it like without hesitation, just like almost like sort of staring into the middle distance a little as they say it. And I think one of their hands just sort of rises and falls almost as they say it, like with the cadence.
There's such a long silence. And if Every looks up, there's tears in the corners of Sable's eyes. It's been 200 years. And they just say, Afiel.
What? And I want that to be I kind of want that to be the end of the scene.
Yeah. You just get a last glimpse of Sable's face just falling entirely. Just.
Mm-hmm. Look, I would have said who, but Justin McElroy beat me to that particular punch. All right?
Oh.
But also, they would know who I feel is. So it makes sense they'd be, like, really confused as to why you'd be saying that, so...
And on that note...
Yeah. Well, I think the interesting thing there is that, like, they know who Aphiel is, and they're just confused as to why Sable would be saying it. But as far as Sable is concerned, the fact that it seemed to Sable like Every didn't recognize the name. And doesn't understand.
Yeah.
So, I don't know who gets that marker.
I want the location too, and I think we should give it a tag.
Yeah.
Because it's, What's the tag?
What are you thinking?
Well, it's got to be something about...
Sanctuary?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel very emotional right now.
They make me so emo.
They are emo, though, that's the thing.
God, this game is so fucking good! God, alright. That's sure. Oh, I just turned my computer monitor off. I need that to be on. That's sure it for us.
That
For
sure
now.
is how you're not gonna do time.is.
I'm pausing, because we're taking a pause and we will be coming back to this. I am pausing as Kales. You can find me on Twitter at Citadel of Swords, and I forgot to plug this earlier, but you can actually find my writing on Dreamwith now, at paradoxicalrenegade.dreamwith.org.
Hell yeah. All of my writing on my Dreamwith is fan fiction. Because what's original things anymore? I don't know. I am and always have been and will continue to be Mab. You can find me on Twitter at Little Lady Mab. And eventually I'll have more games up, but I wrote one. Yay. I don't have a link. I don't remember the link, so...
It's itch.io somewhere. It's somewhere on Mab's Twitter.
Yeah, it's somewhere. I'll link it later, eventually. Who knows? Probably...
Just so we all know, this episode is not coming out for another 4 months.
Yeah, I'll have one of my other 2 games. I'll have 2 other games done by then. So then I'll have something to plug. They're 2 honey heist hacks. It's fine.
Extremely good.
Just find me on Twitter.
Yeah. I'm Jade. You can still find me at Jade Oxford Rose on Twitter. Come yell at me about sad people.
About sad gays.
Sad gays. If you want to see me playing some other sad gays, I am part of 3 streamed D&D games, alternate Mondays and Fridays, over on twitch.tv/Natural Ruckus, and you can find our VOD on YouTube, same address.
And I've been Dora. You can find me on Twitter at HarpyDora, and you can find the podcast at FTLcast on Twitter, which I'm pretty sure you already know. And you're probably going to be sick of hearing this, but we've got a Patreon now. The link will be in the show notes. You can get cool rewards like bloopers and outtakes, our archived live streams, which after this episode you might really want to hear because of an episode of Divine Mundane we do in a live stream format, and other really cool stuff. So check it out.
Yeah, nice. And at some point we will be back with this game, because I fucking love this game and I search for every excuse to play it at all times.
City of Gulls. It's like it's our Hotel California. We can stop playing, but we never really leave.
We never really stop playing.
Yeah.
Never really stop playing. I was going to say also, because by the time we get our Patreon up and going, we want to... City of Gulls, not City of Gulls, This Town Full of Monsters campaign will be a goal?
Underway. Yeah.
No, it's part. It's one of our.
It is one of
part
the. I don't remember.
It's
I
with
wrote
the
him-
live streams.
I wrote him down, and I don't remember.
Yeah, it'll be with
Anyway,
the live streams.
something to. If you like this town full of monsters,
Go
There
find
is
look out
more
for
of
more
it.
of this, and go
Yeah.
buy the game.
yeah, support
buy
the
the game.
creators.
We're great at this.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, let's
Let's just
do
go
a clap.
clap.
Let's clap.
Let's go
Yep.
clap.
That's it.
Hi, it's Dora, and I just wanted to thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed us, please consider leaving a rating on iTunes, telling your friends about us, or tweeting about our show using the FTLcast hashtag. No, seriously, we crave the validation and it helps us out. Your support really means a lot. Thanks again!